Hello and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Boduri.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
Thank you so much for joining us as we bring you kick stories shaping Nigeria today. We will begin with a brief review of the newspaper headlines and then move into our main conversation for the day. You can join the conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. You can as well share. Thank you. So joining us this morning is His Greatness Agadaigo. Is a barrister and a public affairs analyst.
And
You're
also,
welcome.
if possible, we will equally have Innocent Adoloba, journalist, public affairs analyst, development communicator, to join us. His Greatness joins us from Delta State, Warri precisely, while Innocent Adoloba joins us from Lagos State, Nigeria. Good morning to you, barrister, and welcome to Enterprise Morning today.
Good morning, Mr. Henry Igwebike, and good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Mrs. Boduri, thank you.
Thank you so very much for your time. So I would love us to start with the newspapers today. We have 4 newspapers to go today. Let's kickstart with the Vanguard newspaper for today. Big story: how we escaped assassination in Benin. Obi Onyegu, and we have the picture there of Onyegu and Obi. This is actually quite sad to democracy in Nigeria, where we are already playing a thuggish kind of politics. It's really not going down well, and I think so.
Okay, we also have U.S. Congress recommends measures to end Christian persecution in Nigeria.
And also we have on the top strip equally that CBN cuts interest rate to 26.5%. How well would this do to our economy is the big question. Things are still very expensive. Inflation is an all-time high. Employment is unemployment rather is actually quite high. Transportation for Nigerians is not there yet. Accommodation is one big problem. So if interest rate is cut, how much will that do to the economy? And that's the big question.
We also have Tinubu to opposition. Elections not won on social media.
Well, that is good for someone who has said grab it, take it, and run with it. Let's see how that goes. So we have other stories. President accepts Gbetokun's resignation as IGP appoints Tunji Disu in acting capacity.
And the last story here, we have phone tapping charge. DSS can't try me over casual remarks on TV. El-Rufai tells court.
All right, so let's okay.
Damages.
Okay, so let's get to the talking point for today. President accepts Gbetokun's resignation as IGP appoints Tunji Disu in acting capacity.
Yep.
Barrister, were you expecting this? It's quite interesting how things unfold in Nigeria. Gbetokun's resignation, his retirement should have happened in 2023. The Police Amendment Act, or whatever they call it, was done in favor of Gbetoku, and he had an extension to 2027. Why do you think at this point Gbetoku had to, pull out the uniform and say he is okay with the job?
You're putting me in a very mountain spot, but
well,
I will.
It's your job. This is what you do every day. So let's have you say.
Is to read the president's mind. Is to read the president's mind and speak accordingly. Funny enough, on Saturday when we were talking, I was in these police games. I'm in Asaba, and I saw the IG. I was looking very hopeful. He did not look like somebody who by Monday will be retiring from the police force. Looked like somebody who still have light years ahead to serve as IGP. On Saturday, that's how many days ago? 5 days ago, we spoke, Mr. Henry, if you remember. Good. I was in the stadium for the finals of the game. He came from Abuja, well received, and it was such a grandeur ceremony. He was there with full spirit. His wife was also there sitting by him. They wore yellow tracksuit. So he did not give any single impression that was the last time he was going to preside over the ceremonies of the police games. There was no such indication. He was full of joy,
Full of barrister now. I think the voice is
it was full of
sounding
sportsmanship. Can you hear me?
for a bit.
Can you hear me?
He joins us
Can you hear
back because it's very
Hello?
important that we take a look at
Hello?
issues like this. Lots of people would say, do you think this is coming as a result of the many hurdles that he had passed through in the hands of Omoyele Sowore? Or is it Sahara Reporters that is possibly doing all of this to him? Well, that is an allegation, actually. But of course, the latest that we have is that the court has asked Sahara Reporters to stop publishing anything around Egbetoku and his family. We do not know if this is connected. The barrister, are you back with us?
Can you hear me? I've always been here.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Are you there? Hello? Hi.
Are you there,
Can
barrister?
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like going by the best way I can even, because for now the official sources have not been able to give us any clear reason why he had to resign on Monday. None has been given so far. So and of course, the president extended his tenure beyond his 60 years mandatory retirement because the president felt believes he is reliable, he is dependable, and he will fully serve his purpose. He will fully serve his purpose. That's the essence why the law had to be violated.
Barrister, when you talk about peoples here, what are you talking about here? What are you referring to when you say he is there to serve the president's peoples?
Just like even Donald Trump, if you watch now, very unfortunately, our public servants are self-serving. And I'm sure this is the answer I gave during our MBA conference in August, 29th August 2025, that made one of your colleagues to recommend me to you to be one of your resource person in your program. This singular answer. Our public servants, when you put the interest of a nation on one side and you put their personal interest at the other side, they choose their personal interest. Our public servants are self-serving. That is why majority of Nigerians, in fact, all Nigerians wanted timely how do we call on the spot?
Yes, transmission of results.
Transmission of results in record time, in good time. The president and people do not want that. At the end of the day, you can see the speed at which the House of Reps reversed their earlier version, and it was passed to law within 48 hours. So when you put the interest, that's their culture. That is their tradition. It's like that's their modus operandi. When you put the interest of Nigerians in one side, left, and you put their own interest at the other side, they will always choose their narrow, myopic interest. And that is why for going to 3 years now, there have been no police reforms, there have been no judicial reforms, there have been no real electoral reforms. This electoral act, if it was not self-serving, the amendment ought to have been done in at least latest middle of 2020, not even by 2024, middle of 2024. It ought to have been done so that we do not test run it, so that hopefully it will now help to improve the 2027 election with real-time transmission of election results imputed into the new electoral act. So coming back home to your question, I believe the president believes that the IGP is no more dependable, is no more reliable, and he will not be able to, is not fit and proper. He's not fit and proper to serve his interests, most especially in the 2027 election, which is the major game at the moment. So that is why he not only sacrificed the IG, but he's going to sacrifice about 8 DIG who with years of experience, including my colleague Umba, who did election in Edo State. You know, he was the one in charge of that election in Edo State that made it to win. He did that.
That allowed who to win?
The election in Edo State, where APC triumphed over Obaseki's PD.
Over the other man with the PDP.
So somebody would have expected that there will be an IOU on the IG Uba for his diligent, elegant security provided that wherein the APC candidate now became successful. But you can see that people who scheme themselves, who carry out certain activities to try to favor any person, at the end of the day, when everything falls on the ground,
when the chips are down,
when you now begin to put it in filter, your such efforts will count for nothing. So that is why we advise every person, every citizen, do the right thing at all times.
Well.
Don't please sectional interest. Don't serve purposes. You know, media reports came that time after the election that a lot of APC some APC leaders expressed appreciation for DIG Uba over the Edo State election. But see now, he's going to be he was hoping that one day he will be IG. He was police spokesman. He has been this, he has been that. But see now, he's retiring. Even before becoming 60 years and without even hitting the ultimate position, which is the IG of police. So and the person who has been chosen is his junior to succeed him, and because of that, he has to retire because he cannot serve under his junior. That's against the norms and convention of the Nigerian police force. So you can see what has happened here, that politicians are not interested in you. They are not interested in your welfare. They only use you. Even when they are helping to influence your promotion or advancement, they are not doing it because they like you. They are doing it because they feel they are putting you in a position where they can use you lawfully and unlawfully, illegally, and use you to serve their myopic purposes.
All right.
I hope that people will get this understanding. This is the main answer in this question you have given to me. The fact that Besogu was Tinubu's ADC or thereabouts in Lagos
when
State.
He was the governor of Lagos State.
Was not helping him. If he has helped him in any way, if it is true from media reports that Tinubu helped to enhance his smooth progression in the police force, he did not do it because he loves Egbetokun. He did it because he knows that if I can scratch my back, I will scratch your back. As I'm helping you to higher offices, you will be able to serve my personal, selfish, self-centered, myopic, and oftentimes unlawful purposes. Right. So that is the game.
Then we can say
Nigeria
goes for nothing.
God bless you. In fact, for saying that, I'll pronounce your name very well. But,
okay, but then again, there's Egbetokun's resignation. You know, does it affect police reforms legally?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Did you get that?
Hello?
Barrister?
I didn't get that. Please come again.
Get that. Okay. So does Egbetokun's resignation, does it affect police reforms legally?
Does it affect what?
Police reforms legally.
To say that is even the painful thing in the whole thing. I think Nigerians need to, we Nigerians, Obasanjo, no Ribado needs to apologize to Tafa Balogun. We need to apologize to Tafa Balogun. Because Tafa Balogun was found guilty of corruption and humiliated during his tenure. He carried out police reforms. During his tenure, he regularly sent his squad to go to the highways to arrest police collecting at that time 20 naira toll fees. Let me put it that way. Regularly, he arrested them. He put some kind of check on payment for bail. At least, if not anywhere, but at the Louis Edet house in Abuja. And yet, this man was humiliated, disgraced out of the force, because Obasanjo's regime wanted to show that no one is above the law in his fight against corruption. Any person found wanting will not be spanked. So if you put Tafa Balogun's record, pari passu, you compare it with that of Egbetogun, it means that why Tafa Balogun may be scoring, in my opinion now, 8/10, Egbetogun 80/100. 80/100. Egbetogun will be scoring 3/100, 3%. So that's why I say we need to apologize to Tafa Balogun. As far as I'm concerned, for the past almost 3 years, there is no police reform going on. The police since May 29th, 2023, their welfare has not fared better. They have been in fact, law and order in Nigeria has almost collapsed. Law and order has almost collapsed. Personally, as a lawyer, I don't go to police station because of the things that they say happened there, and some which I've witnessed. And for those who go to police station like lawyers, they said it's a hell lot worse now than even more than we can even speak of. It's a hell more. So there have not been any single police reform. You know what? Tafa Balogun was the one that brought that motto that the police is your friend, to serve with integrity. And he tried to even do it to some extent to bring that civilian nicety, cooperation, collaboration with Nigerian police. But in the last 3 years, nothing. And so many things are happening. You know, the PDP, Obasanjo's PDP, accused the police, even if you want to take bail money in police formations, divisions in the states and the rest, it shouldn't be in Louis Edet's house. Obasanjo's government accused PDP under Obasanjo accused the police that those PDP members they arrested, they had to pay 4 million naira as bail to release them. Up till now, no investigation was done. Nobody was indicted. Nobody was prosecuted. So if such things can happen in Louis Edet's house, or if such things can be rumor, the rumor is worse enough to be happening in Louis Edet's house, and there was no follow-up serious investigation to deal with people who demanded and collected that amount of money when bail is free indeed, then it means that is a sanction to zones of the Nigerian police force, state commands of the Nigerian police force, and other formations of the Nigerian police force, including divisional police stations, to collect the bribe freely without fear of evil. And
all right.
You are the media. You are the media. With this, tell me how many people have been arrested in Abuja, FCT, and other places for collecting bribe on the roads, on the highway, on the main road, on the streets. How many have been arrested during his tenure? So there have been absolutely no police.
All right. So I would love us to look at other stories, actually. I wish Beto well. It's often said that when you resign, that is when you understand the consequences of what you have done while you were in power. And now his kinsmen from his village will start calling him, telling him how that they don't sleep at night because of attack by herdsmen. And lots of other family members, old schoolmates will now start calling him, telling him all the issues they have. And then he might understand what he had been doing all the while. But whatever it is, we wish him well and we welcome him to the real Nigeria now. Now let's take a look at other matters. How we escaped assassination in Benin. Obi Onyegu says. The barrister, you are a card-carrying member of the PDP, and I would love to know what you feel about this, knowing that both the PDP, ADC are all opposition. The ruling party is the APC. Okpebolo, the executive governor of Edo State, had threatened Peter Obi that he should be careful whenever he comes to Edo State, and that if he doesn't come take excuses from him before coming to Edo State, whatever he sees, he should take it. And now we have it that he was about to be lynched. What's your take on this, barrister, knowing that you are involved in politics and its play in the country?
You know, the last time we spoke, you had me in your program. I was even thanking God that for now, there's no political.
Exactly. I remember very well.
In the scene, if despite the fact that there's high political tension, and I hope that it continues. But you can see that there's not a departure from that. There's not a departure from that. Trying to attack with guns the opposition figures, and of course the ADC just a few weeks ago complained publicly that people they suspect to be APC elements went to their headquarters to destroy their secretariat, and they tried to even set it on fire, but it's just that the fire did not was not sustained to consume the building. So I hope that the National Security Advisor will be immediately will immediately condemn it, and not only condemn it, set a high-powered investigation team to investigate the root causes of this kind of assassination attack on one of the most prominent opposition figures we have in Nigeria today, because it is in the interest of the political stability of Nigeria for him to do that. Because just imagine if something has happened to Peter Obi, it means that it is better imagined than reality. So if they really advisor is to be proactive. If this continues, it means that before we even get to the 2027 general election, Nigeria will be in crisis.
But what's your take on this,
political turmoil?
Barrister?
So being proactive means that when you see.
Yes, I actually wanted to add. You've said that the chief security officer, Nuhu Ribado, should do something about it. But what's your take on this when the president himself is maybe part of enablers, if I might use that? Because from the newspapers, we have it here that Tinubu to opposition, elections not won on social media. So don't you think that is a rhetoric that shows that he might be not too... maybe he might really not care what happens to opposition at this point. So do you think President Bola Tinubu plays politics the way it should be done?
Personally, I to say the truth, I do not believe that Bola Tinubu plays politics the way it should be done. In fact, I believe that he plays politics the way that will not ensure the political growth and development in Nigeria. But even saying that, I believe that since he's at the highest leadership position in Nigeria today, it is in his enlightened self-interest that Nigeria should not go up in flames, that Nigeria should not be on fire, that there should not be political crisis and turmoil. And because number one, it will completely damage whatever is left of his legacy, and that he ought to project after he leaves office. So it is in his own, this one now, not collective self-interest, his personal enlightened self-interest. So a stitch in time saves 9. So when you see signal, because this is a new dimension, and you know the governor there. That's why you say I didn't call on the governor, because the governor, instead of the governor to order investigation, he was accusing the ADC. So how can, if I call on the governor now to carry out investigation, at least I know where the investigation will get. The investigation will just write a report that is a faction of the ADC that went to attack him. Because even without even getting the facts right, he has already concluded his report on who was attacking Peter Obi. So the governor, as far as I'm concerned, is completely biased. So he cannot carry out, he cannot. And of course, this governor, all he has been trumpeting is that he wants to bring 3.5 million votes to Tinubu in the 20. And I don't know where he's going to get the votes, because I don't know whether reading, he has checked how many people voted in Edo State in the last election, and with even now, voter apathy is seriously deteriorating, because for now, even the new leadership of INEC, which was trying to give up hope, the way he has conducted his activities makes the INEC leadership to project hopelessness, because they went to involve himself in PDP internal crisis. He has failed woefully. Last FCT election was, I told you that it's a referendum on Joash Amotekun. It's a it's not even going to really be a referendum on APC, because we are all agreed that the APC government from 2015, from Buhari to Tinubu, has failed completely.
All right. So, Barrister, just to cut you short, Barrister, just to interject there, we understand that another of our guests, Innocent Adolugba, has just joined us. Thank you so very much, Innocent. We truly do appreciate your time, even if we are just about to wind down for today. Are you there?
Yes, I hope you can.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you. So, Innocent, we have less than 90 seconds and or 120. Please help us. What's your take on the attack on Peter Obi in Edo State and the lackadaisical attitude of Okwebolo, the executive governor of Edo State, treating this matter like it should be done? What is happening to our democracy? What is happening to our political culture in 2026?
Oh, well, good morning. My pleasure to be here. I think that I don't know if Nigeria will have some misplaced priority. The results of the 2023 presidential elections shows that President Bola Tinubu was the winner, followed by His Excellency Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi. So I don't know why the APC are obsessed with Peter Obi, who came third. I'm always wondering, like, if I were the person contesting, I'll be bothered with my rival who is closest on my heels. So I think the country seemed to have made Peter Obi very important, maybe more than he could have been. You know, and for a country where the security of life and property is at a premium, you would be surprised that somebody of the caliber of a presidential aspirant is at such risk. And it's easy to point finger. The fingers will be pointed at the opposition. So, and I think it's a litmus test for the nursery governor, Monday Okwebolo of Edo State. Nursery because if you look across the country, he's the youngest at a kindergarten level.
Yeah.
Some are in their second tenure, some are in their first tenure. He is at the nursery stage. So these are the tests of character for him to come out with statesmanly comments, with diplomatic mediations, not the type we are seeing now, Henry. So I don't know. I think Henry, it's deplorable.
Very
The
deplorable.
aspirants.
Yes, very so deplorable. But just before we wind down, what's your take on Betokun's resignation? Do you think that is coming too early or coming too late? What's your take on that? Just before we call it a wrap for the segment.
Let's thank the IG Egbetokun, one of Nigeria's most literate and enlightened, I dare say. Very commendable. I salute him. I think he is just one of the pieces in the political crossfire of insecurity and banditry. He's just, I wouldn't put any blame directly on his doorsteps. If you go by the revelations we are getting from this banditry and insecurity economy, it's a new economy of some sort.
Yeah.
So I would think Igbetokun has come, had seen, and maybe has conquered his share. If take it from me, he's just caught in the crossfire. The insecurity seems to be bigger than him. So I won't judge him by some of these things. It's all carrying political pigmentation. But there are names being bandied here and there, and it tells us that President Bola Tinubu may be looking to complete his boardroom with a college of Lagos boys. If you go by the name Tunde Disu being banded, all of them are from the funnel, the Lagos funnel. There was MD Abubakar, all of them rising from Lagos Zone 2 here. That way. I've been personally in more than several handshakes with Tunde Disu. He is very ageless. He is not well. He is a restless man, very alert and sniffy. I think he fits into that job perfectly if he will not be caught in the political crossfire of the insecurity.
All right, I think we lost Innocent there, but we have to call it a wrap for this particular segment and hope that both gentlemen, His Greatness and the Innocent Adoluba, would join us. That is when we return. Did CBN block a 1,000 Naira to a dollar Naira? Shettima reveals a shock FX intervention. That in the Beat Enterprise morning it is. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
It's nice to have you join us yet again. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. Vice President Kashim Shettima said the Nigerian Naira could have strengthened to around 1,000 to the dollar, wishing weak if the Central Bank of Nigeria had not intervened in the foreign exchange market to stabilize it. He made the statement during the Progressive Governors Forum, Renewed Hope Ambassadors Strategic Summit in Abuja. The CBN recently allowed the licensed bureau to change operators to access a foreign exchange from the Nigerian foreign exchange market through authorized dealers bank with a weekly cap of 150,000 US dollars.
Very true. According to Shettima, these and other economic reforms introduced by the administration are beginning to produce positive results. He noted that inflationary pressures are gradually easing, oil prices are stabilizing, and the Naira is becoming stronger. He explained that the central bank's intervention on Monday was meant to maintain market stability rather than allow a rapid appreciation of the currency.
And also, Shettima warned individuals who hoard dollars that the improving economy should serve as a signal to reconsider their actions. He added that Nigeria attracted 5 out of the 7 major investment decisions made in Africa last year, highlighting growing investor confidence. Business leaders such as Femi Otedola and Aliko Dangote have also predicted that the Naira will strengthen significantly in the coming years. Now let's get talking. We have His Greatness Agadaigo and Innocent Adoluba. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for being back. We truly do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So, Barrister, I would love to start with you on this matter. Are we living in fancy land? Are we living in Disneyland at this point? Because lots of things are happening in Nigeria that needs to be explained better. President Bola Tinubu made dollar at 400 Naira to the dollar. He took it to about 2,000, brought it back to 1,500, and now it is hanging between 1,350 and 1,004. And Kashim Shettima is telling us that things are better. Can you help us explain? Barrister, can you hear us? All right, so while we wait for Barrister to do a reply to that if he got the question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you talk?
Yes, we can hear you.
I
So
said,
did you? Yeah.
Me and we know that things are worse, are a lot worse. The truth about the whole thing is that despite the government rebasing of the economy, inflation is over 30%. In fact, in reality, the kind of inflation we want to connect, because if something you buy something double the price every day and thereabout, it's 100%. But so in economies, they have some inputs they use in doing analyzing the rate of inflation. So at least in Nigeria now, despite government claim that inflation is about 20% or thereabout, in reality, inflation is over 30%. Of course, earlier you have said unemployment rate is over 50%. Now you are seeing an economy that there's lack of foreign direct investment because of lack of confidence in the economy. So you need there's low demand because of low purchasing power. So you are seeing a sluggish economy. This was an economy some years ago that was growing at 6-7% annually. Now the economy is growing at, by their projection, 2-something%, or 4-5 thereabouts. Not even half of what it used to be. So that is reality. That's the reality. You see that even the minimum wage 70,000 cannot even carry workers to the end of the month, including civil servants. So we clearly, the APC government, they ought to have remained as its opposition because they were doing good. You remember the days of Lai Mohammed. secretary. That's what is supposed to be their ministry perpetually, opposition and criticism. Because when Buhari came in, he did not know what was happening in Nigeria. Though he was living in Nigeria, he didn't even know the economic realities Nigeria was in. That's why he promised 1 naira to $1. You remember now? Trying to implement it in his first days in office by trying to use military tactics to regulate the exchange rate, and it backfired because the exchange rate quickly moved from 180 to 200, from 200 to 400 to 450. At the end of the day, he turned out to blame it at low crude oil production and low crude oil prices. So it's just a blame game. So later, it was not clear to everybody that Muhammadu Buhari, who was promising heaven and earth during the campaigns, did not know the actual state of Nigeria economy. Neither did he know the solutions to apply to fulfill the promises he gave to Nigeria. And Tinubu has completely inherited that virtue. He did not understand the Nigerian economy before. He did not take time to understudy it. So he came in as a clear, complete neophyte. And that's why what he's doing now is trial and error. Trial and error. I'm sure you have heard of trial and error. That's what they are doing. And here and there. And the worst thing is that they will continue to refuse to acknowledge the true state of this sluggish economy because of campaigns for 2027. So they will continue to live Naira. Or a 1,000 Naira is not a fair interest rate for an economy which few years ago maintained 120 Naira per dollar from Obasanjo's 8 years. Prices of things remain the same. A rate of exchange rate remained the same, even though there were fluctuations in crude oil prices and others, but they remain the same. Why? Number one, because there was confidence in the handling of the economy. Basically, one of the reasons, apart from demand supply, that makes an exchange rate to remain stable is when internationally people have confidence in that developing country's economy. The exchange rate will remain stable, fairly stable. But when they do not, that's when you see sharp distortions and variations going up, down, up, down, up, down. And that is because the international world saw that from Muhammadu Buhari, the leadership that came in is incompetent. So that was the real reason, and because he was applying solutions that were not economically pliable to try to regulate exchange rates. So it was clear that the person in charge did not know what he was doing.
Okay.
And so the claim by that they would have done this 1,000 if not for shock is continuation of APC administration of propaganda. If you do the right thing,
innocent.
let me come.
Okay, please.
If you apply the right economic theories, if you engage and deploy the right personnel to man critical sectors of your economy, the exchange rate will naturally come down and sit upper levels.
Okay.
That will be my.
All right, thanks for your take. To Innocent, please, I just want us to look at to interpret the policy signal. Now, does this show confidence or fear in the market? I just hope you want us.
Innocent, are you there?
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Our market has no. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you.
we can.
Okay, so I'm putting it this way. Our market has always been volatile since the Jonathan days. But it's at its worst now with this present government. The Vice President Shettima, like the barrister said, is just carrying out the aspects of propaganda in politics. What is to be done does not look. Nigeria can have a strong currency without some of those extraterrestrial strategies, Henry. How do you defeat inflation? I'm a student of political economy from the University of Lagos. So you defeat inflation by protecting your purchasing power, and then you invest in assets that outpace rising prices. Like stock, real estate, inflation indexed bond. Now, the government is also supposed to maximize saving interest. Have you gone through the budgets of all the state governors this year and how much they are budgeting to buy vehicles? All of them in the 36 states, higher than how much they are investing in education and agriculture. Is the vice president speaking to those indices? So the key strategies would include when the government diversify portfolio, by paying down high interest debts and boosting income to offset increased cost of living. Where we are now, the economy is at its worst, but interest rate is at its highest. These two do not marry together. When an economy is fluctuating, you say you are floating your currency and the rest, you peg interest rates so low to encourage entrepreneurs to flood your loan space and increase productivity. But for God's sake, the barrister had said it. In summary, the word for it is propaganda, Harry. It's propaganda at display, Harry.
That's actually quite valuable at this point, but we do not know where it panders towards. It is valuable from a negative or a positive angle at this point. But Barrister, I'd love us to speak to the issue of stakeholders with the skin in the game who are becoming complicit to the debasing status of our economy. Aliko Dangote, Femi Otedola, best ally and business buddies. They are like the face of entrepreneurship, blue chip entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Aliko Dangote at a forum, he said that Nigeria's economy is like a scratch card. And it's only when you scratch it, you get to know what is in it. For them, billionaires and trillionaires, they have scratched it and they know how good it is. But does that speak to that little entrepreneur selling somewhere in Yaba or Neri or somewhere in Asaba? Does that speak to that man who is trying to grow his business from nothing? What's your take on this?
Well, I want to give what you have said, although I did not hear him say it, but what you have said, Dangote said that Nigeria economy is like a scratch card. It is only when you scratch it that you know what is underneath. I guess that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, that was what he said when he was attending a function in Owerri.
What that means, in my own take, for my deduction, is that Nigeria economy is unpredictable. It's unpredictable. So, and it now increases the risk that entrepreneurs and investors take in investing in Nigeria's economy. Because usually, even if an economy is weak, it should be predictable, so that you know how to invest your funds and you can do proper risk analysis. You can, but for what he's saying, because of the unpredictability of Nigeria's economy, the risk analysis, the risk analysis is very, very high. That's what he's saying. Nigeria is a very risky place to invest your money. And largely, I would blame it on failure of leaders, wrong government policy. Because Nigeria can just bring today that we can even an investment overnight. Mr. Home, if you remember, we had the tax increase. that was going to start January 10th. We discussed it, and I told you that people should not be worried about enforcement about that, because from January 1st, what the administration will be thinking about is politics of 2020. Make enforcement as reduced as possible because of political consideration. So, when political consideration outweighs national interest, then that economy is unpredictable, and the factor is extremely very high. I must commend Dangote, who has investing borrowed to boost Nigeria economy, but it took a very big, because can destroy finance. If government not go back to the subsidy where we got Dangote, and we are taking that. And again, for any government, how we can be able to place confidence in the economic government, who personnel. I want to believe Obasanjo did not personally do Ngozi Okonjo before he appointed him into office. But the difference between other is the question. The NAFDAC, our NAFDAC hero, the impact is still inbuilt in Nigeria today.
Okay.
So the policy cannot be divested for the quality and competence of the person.
Okay.
Once there's any impression of it, goes a long way to affect the impact of your economic. And that's why you saw to bring Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who still made impact in human. So one of the problem Buhari, which also was the failure to get the best personnel to run the economic. That
All right.
down and unpredictability in our economic applications,
Okay.
Good.
Yes, that but actually that speaks to nepotism and cronyism at this point, because when we keep electing or selecting, appointing wrong people for the right jobs, that's actually a big issue. Do you have further questions for Innocent?
Okay, for Innocent, I just want us to explore on hoarding dollars, if hoarding dollars can violate financial laws. So the question is, can market manipulation charges arise from dollar stockpiling? I don't know if you get the question.
Well, market manipulation is a topic on its own. All of this creates artificial scarcity that can truly lead to the hoarding of the dollars. I hope you got that.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, as in when you say market manipulation, much of it hangs around wholesalers, middlemen, and all of them in that sales and production chain, creating artificial scarcity that can lead to hoarding of the dollars. But you see, Nigeria should be Naira focused, Naira centric. Naira determined. Henry, do you know Nigeria on its own? It's a global port where other countries will come to befriend us. If with nearly 250 million people, we produce our own clothes, we feed ourselves, we house ourselves, we secure ourselves, as was the case in the late 70s and early 80s. The Naira at the time was twice more powerful than the dollar. You hear 1 Naira equals to $2. So my questions and my analysis becomes boring because I am used to saying the same thing. Household utensils, industrial necessities, much of them are plastics. In Nigeria, there used to be mass rubber plantations. Plantations are on the soil from Ondo up to Delta State, parts of Cross River State are rubber plantation. Are those soils still there? Yes. Are those trees still on that land? No. Why? No replies. Once upon a time, Nigeria was the world's largest producer of groundnut and second in exportation only to Senegal. The vast northern Nigeria with pockets of hubs in Sokoto, Kano, Borno, and all had vast groundnut farms, vast groundnut pyramids. Are those soils still there? Yes. Is groundnut still on those land? No. Benue used to be a hub that produces seed and soybeans. You talk of Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, parts of Taraba, Wukari, Takum, Ibi, Jalingo, all of those areas. Are those lands still there? Yes. Are those crops still on them? No. So, where is our intention to strengthen the naira, ignore to some extent the dollar, and avoid this scarcity and economic manipulation that is being discussed? If you go to the southeast, Imo preeminently, and parts of the Abia and the rest, there are vast palm oil plantations, Henry. You are an Igbo man. Are they still there? Are they still thriving? What happened to them? Land is a free gift of nature. Land is a fixed factor of production. So if the land are still fixed where they are, where are the vast cocoa that made the sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo the most prominent premier in the Nigerian history? The whole of Ogun, Ondo, Oyo, there were cocoa farm everywhere. And Nigeria could export cocoa, raw or processed chocolate. All of these are in global demand still tomorrow, but those gaining it have swapped places with Nigeria. I was a little boy, I dare tell you this. Sometime, oh God, we went to match. I was living in Benin, and we were told that the Ogbe Stadium was being under construction or whatever. I don't know. I was a boy, maybe less than 10 years old. And we were taken to match at 9-4. I remember it was Bendel Silver Jubilee. It was my first time to catch a glimpse of that royal handsome man, um, Chief Gabriel Osawaru Igbenedion. I think he was boyish at the time. Tall, fair, at 9-4. I remember I was a little boy. Henry, you cannot see the sky. There were massive tall palm trees. That was a canopy. Everywhere was dark. And they told us those white people were seeing are from Malaysia. Henry, I was in the university when we were told that the world's largest producer of palm oil are Malaysians who came to Nigeria. And my mind tells me, by chance, I may have been an individual who saw the Malaysians live then without knowing who they were. You can imagine. So while we have what we should do and are not doing it, and every day we get into ground grammar engagement. We will speak grammar tomorrow. Shettima will speak today. APC will tell you strategy, renewed hope. And with all of this, it is much haste, less speed. We are still where we are, in almost perennial stagnation, running cycles, spending money, making no impact. Henry, take it away, please.
Said, we can't overstate, some of these facts because they are very so glaring to everyone to see. The rest of the world actually moving ahead of us. The other day, the Chinese people celebrated their moon festival or something, or their year festival, and we had robotics, humanoids, robots dancing away and doing all those things. And I asked myself, if these people can create robots that are now looking exactly like human beings and doing the same thing human beings are doing or even better, why are we now still talking about manual transmission / e-transmission in 2026? It's actually quite sad that those who should be leading Nigeria and taking it to the frontier of development and growth are actually very debased in their thoughts and really not thinking about growth for our great country, Nigeria. But we continue to hope and pray that someday we would have that leader that would change the face of Nigeria for good. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for being here. Barrister, we truly do appreciate your time. Thank you so very much. Innocent Adoloba, it's always nice having you here. We thank you both for your time. All right, that's just about the time we have for today. We'd love to say thank you to everyone who has joined us. Wherever it is you've done that around the world, we'd love to say thank you. Please do well to follow us. You can read up on everything we have talked about today. When you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com, you may equally download to share to your friends and folks, and equally leave your comment there, and we will be here to reply you. My name is Henry Igwebike.
And my name is Kehinde Bodorin.
Have yourself a splendid day, and we'll see you on another episode.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.